Hi everyone, today we're going to learn how to do a little bit of graphing. The two things that I want to cover are how to graph ordered pairs and also how to graph a line, and this will be in Microsoft Word where you can graph actually right in Word and save the document to a Word file. So the first thing I have is a pre-made grid that was given to me, so I'm going to try to plot the four ordered pairs that I have. One thing I need to do is get some axes. So I'm going to go and create some axes. In order to do that, I'm going to go up to the upper right left-hand corner and go into the Insert menu. Okay, when I click Insert in the Insert ribbon, I will get into some different groups. In the Illustrations group, I will click on Shapes, and then under Lines, I will pick Lines. Now you can either pick the one with or without the arrows. I will pick the one without. And then I'm going to just use the cursor will become a black plus sign. I go to the left side of my grid and hold my left mouse button down and then keep it held down until I get to the right. And when I get over to the right, I let it go and I have a line. Now it's kind of hard to see, so I'm going to make it larger. Once I have this line selected, and it's selected as you can see because the little dots or little squares on the ends are visible. So once that's selected, a new menu called Format pops up in this ribbon, and over in the Shape Styles area, I can click the arrow, and I'm going to pick the second one to make it a little bit thicker. All right, I'm going to do the same thing to do a y-axis. So again, go back to Insert, Shapes, Line, okay, and then again, I'm going to hold the left mouse button down from the top to the bottom, and then make it a little thicker. Okay, so I now have my X and Y axis. I think my Y axis is a little bit high. Doesn't really matter, but if you click on it, I should be able to move it down to where I want it. So you can move these objects around after you've created them. All right, now in order to plot points, I'm going to now have to create a point. So I'm going to go back to the Insert menu, back to Shapes, and I'm going to choose the one under Basic Shapes that says oval, okay, but it's not really going to be an oval. I can make it into an oval by dragging any of the sides, but it starts off as a circle. So I'm going to use the lower right-hand corner. You can use any of the four corners. I'm going to hold down my left mouse button when the cursor changes from a plus sign to a diagonal line. I'm going to hold my left mouse button down and make it really small so I have a small point. All right, that point is now selected. And if I click off of it, it will become just a normal point. Now I'm going to need 4 of them, so I'm going to copy and paste that right away. And the easiest way to copy and paste is just to use Control-C, that's for copy, and then Control-V will paste it. So I'm going to paste one. Now once I've copied it, if I hit Control-V 2 more times, okay, I will keep getting more of these circles. So I'm just going to move these circles over to the side for a second. So I have them all created, so I don't have to create them as I'm going along. All right, now I'm going to graph the ordered pair. So the first ordered pair is 2, 3. So I'm going to go back to one of these dots, hold my left mouse button down on it, drag it over to the origin, okay, and now I'm going to count 2 on the x-axis, which is 2 to the right, and then 3 on the y-axis, which is 3 up. And there will be my first point. Okay, I'm going to go click on another point, drag it over. This next one is 0, 6. So 0 means I don't go right or left, but I'm just going to go 6 up. So this one will be ending up on the y-axis. It's 0, 6. Okay, go over to get the third point. The third point is at -2. So -2 means 2 to the left and 5 up. Okay, and that will be over there in the second quadrant. And then the last point is at 4, 0, so that means I will go 4 to the right, and I will not go up or down. So there, and if I click off, there's my graph with the 4 points. So it's fairly easy. You can save this, and you can attach it to an assignment for your instructor. All right, then I will go to, I have 2 examples of lines. I'm going to graph these with the point slope method. This one I actually need, I started a y-axis, I need an x-axis yet. So I'll go back to, again, Insert, Shapes, select the line. Okay, and again, I'm going to make this horizontal, so hold my left mouse button down, drag across, and then again, I will make it a little bit thicker. Okay, so my graph of my line, this has to be solved for y. The number that is in the back is called the y-intercept. This y-intercept is +1. That is telling me that on the y-axis, I will go 1 unit up. So I'm going to grab a point and just take my point and go 1 unit up on the y-axis. So that is starting with my y-intercept. Now, in order to get to the next point, I'm going to use my slope. Since my slope here is 3, I have to use it as 3/1. When you have a slope, it is telling you the rise over the run, which means how much up or down and how much to the right or left. So in the slope that I have, I'm going to just draw something really quick. So I have a slope of 3. Okay, I'm going to be using this as 3/1. So again, if I grab my tool, I'm going to be using the slope. It has to look like a fraction. So again, in order for me to use any kind of a number as a slope, I have to think of it as a fraction. Okay, so I have the slope 3/1. Now this means I'm going to go, and they're both positive, so the top tells you how far to travel on the y-axis, the denominator tells you how far to travel on the x-axis, and since they're both positive, I will be traveling up and then to the right. So I will be going 3 up, 1 to the right. So I'm going to take another point. Where do I start? I start at my last point, which was the point 0, 1. I'm now going to go 3 up, 1, 2, 3, 1 to the right. Okay, and there's my next point. Then I will take the third point, starting at the last position I was at, go 3 up and 1 to the right. All right, so I now have my 3 points plotted. I need to again draw a line through them, so I'll go back to my insert menu, into the shapes, and then grab a line. And again, I'm going to draw the line so that it crosses over these 3 points. Now again, you can make modifications later if you want to, but I'm going to hopefully just try to do this once. So again, there's a line. I started a little bit lower so that I could get my line. If you don't get it exactly through the points, you can always move it. Again, if you would like to make it larger, okay, you can make it larger in the same method that we've done before. So there's the equation of the graph of the line. Y is equal to 3x plus 1. It has a y-intercept of 1 and a slope of 3. All right, I have one more example, and again, I've created my 3 points here. So my first, and actually I'm missing an x in here, so I'm going to put the x in right now. So on the line for this one, I have a y-intercept of 5. So again, I'm going to pull my first point. My y-intercept is 5, which means on the y-axis, I have to go up 5. Okay, so there's my first point on the y-axis. Now my slope this time is -2/3. So when you have -2/3, it means that you are going to go 2 down and then 3 to the right. You use the negative sign with the numerator, which is the path of the y. So instead of going up and to the right, I'm going to be going down and to the right. So I'm going to take my second point, start where I left off, and this time I want to go 2 down, and then I'm going to count over 3 to the right. And then take the next point, and the same thing, go 2 down, and then another 3 to the right. And then my last step is to take a line that, again, I've created and draw the line through the points. So again, draw the line through the points, just holding my left mouse button down. And then again, I could make it a little bit larger by using my shape styles. After this, you can save this and you can attach it to your document, or you can print it out if you wanted to hand it in person. Hopefully this helps, and it's not a very hard process, and you don't have to scan your paper and then resubmit it. You are able to just do it right in Word.